In just a few days, 2019 is coming up, and I'd like to share you my bootleg bujo. Hey, welcome back. This is Cetriya, Cetriya, and real quick, just letting you know that I have two sets of book lover sets for comics and my zines, just the last remaining half a dozen. If you guys are interested, or into my accessory set that comes with a tote bag, coin purse, and a pencil case / cosmetic bag. So if you're interested, my Etsy link is linked below on a pinned comment. Show your support or grab something for yourself. A little bit of self-indulgence never hurts. Anyhow, let's get right into the main video. So let's just be real, this is my first time doing a bujo, and obviously this is not a bulleted journal. The thing is, like many creative, we are hoarders, and I just have a stack of notebooks and sketchbooks, and I figured this book would be the best book to use for my 2019 journal. And as I'm starting out, I don't have the best calligraphy or any of those things, so why go out and spend an extra, 6 to 15 or whatever money? Those journals can be pricey on something that I'm pretty much new at and want to test out. The reason why I'm getting into this is that I do actually draw and write in a lot of journals and plans for myself, but just recently turned 31, and I figured at this point I should actually be adulting and working on these things. And I have a number of big life events that I know it's going to come, and I really want to go ahead and plan this out. So for the start, I noticed that most of these bujos have like a sort of title page or front page, and I figured something cute, just a 2019 80s inspired decor using some shipping labels for the sticker pack. And of course, using my favorite Crayola markers, nothing too fancy, you know how it is. I'll go ahead and link to the video where I did some illustrations for it. And as you can see here, like I said, my handwriting is not the best, but I figured I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes, and I'll eventually learn. So I know for most bujos, based on watching like 50 bajillion videos, is you also need a key, an index, which is basically you're gonna self-number the pages and then go back into the index and fill out what each page is about. But I figure for some of you guys, especially since my channel is actually an art channel, how would this actually work for a creative? Of course, we're not all the same, but for the most part, I did not fill out the little subsection here, such as my 2018 reflections, simply because a lot of my plans are a bit private. And on the flip side, even if it's not, say, I wouldn't consider it private, let's say you might see something and you might end up comparing yourself. And I don't want you guys comparing yourself to each other for, oh, you're able to do this, or you're planning to do this, or whatnot. So for the most part, I'd say keep to something that you know would help and self-improve your own life. So like I said, this is going to be pretty bootleg. My printer, I haven't used them for so long because I mostly either draw by hand or just keep my files digital or send them out to be printed. My printer, pretty much both the laser and ink, was kind of getting on my nerves. It wasn't working properly, so it couldn't print on my shipping labels for some odd reason. So I'm just right here using, regular Elmer's glue and whatnot, and sticking on the calendars, because as many videos as I've seen someone sat there and fill out the whole year calendar, my brain just does not like tedious work like that. It was not going to happen. So I printed that stuff out and just paste it into the notebook, and eventually I'll fill out my future log, which kind of is a year at a glance of some main events that you're planning to do. And yes, I have a very love fascination for purple. If you have not noticed yet, it's my favorite color, that and gray. So there you go. I will say, like I said, I wasn't gonna go ahead and put in, fill in fully my future log, but this case is not necessarily personal, but I really want to sit down and think about what I want for the next, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And to do that, I'd have to think about what my 3 to 5 year goals are, because I do have them in mind, but I know that there's a benefit for doing them by hand and writing them down. Another thing is, I know for a number of YouTube channels that they tend to have a YouTube spread, but first off, I have so many ideas for YouTube, I put them in a separate book. But second off, I'm pretty much going to go in series. So I'll just make a note of some series, such as the 100 Days of Making Comics. I'll eventually do that. But as I said, the goals that I want to work on are pretty big goals, and the three main area would be my spiritual goals, my art goals, and basically financial independence goals. I've mentioned it in previous videos about what's going on with my day job, and I don't have a problem having a day job per se, but there comes a point that, you know, eventually, and this is probably something that a lot of people look up, if you really look about personal financing and, you know, prepping for retirement, or for some of us maybe closer towards my age or younger, dealing with like student loans and, you know, all this extra stuff that's going about, you know, finding a proper job and things like that. You want to eventually get past that. There's the question where people's like, you know, oh, what would you do if you had $1 million, or if you didn't, money was not the issue? And it's really hard to come up with an answer for that question, because my mind is like, well, money is an issue. I gotta pay for this and pay for that and pay for this. I gotta eat. I gotta take care of myself when I'm sick. You know, my car broke down. It's pretty much breaking down, so I have to buy another car. Like, there's all these things in life that constantly require for you to dish out the dollars, you know. So it's hard to answer that question, but I really thought about it, and I know for a fact that eventually, if it was that, I would probably just sit and read a lot of, you know, knowledge books, like what's going on in the world, or ecology and biology and all, in space and all this stuff, because I just find those information pretty fascinating, and in turn draw more comics and write more stories and become very, very strong and proficient in my drawings. I'm really wanting to focus and just add more training for my art and stuff like that. So of course I have a section for budget, and I have a section for my habit trackers, because like always, trying to keep healthy, the last couple of years and stuff like that, and just all those general goals. So as you can see, nothing fancy with this Bujo here. It's a pretty bootlegged Bujo, but hope you guys appreciate it. Hope it was of interest of you. Let me know in the comments of your goals, your thoughts. Maybe you're gonna fill out a journal or a sketchbook, so make sure you leave those in the comments. And of course, if you are thinking that I should be having much more views, about the only thing I know about YouTube is you could, you know, click the like button, subscribe, leave your comments. That's the best way to get YouTube to show my videos to others. Anyways, thank you again, you guys, for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, perhaps before the end of the year.